Hello there folks, and welcome to TK Power Sports. Today we're out on the lake taking a look at this. This is the 2024 Yamaha FX Cruiser HO. And while it might not look like a lot is different, under the seat right here, there is a brand new powertrain. So in this video, we'll test the new engine, we'll do a top speed run, we'll look at all the features, and then we'll talk about, hey, is it that much better for 2024? Let's dive into it right now. Yes, we have a new engine this year, and it is bigger. It has gone from a 1.8 liter up to a 1.9 liter, specifically 1,898 cc's. This is a 4-cylinder, 4-stroke engine, and it now makes 200 horsepower, which is a nice bump in power compared to the previous 1.8 liter. And I'm excited to get on the water and tell you all about this. But for now, let's just look at all the features here on the FX Cruiser. This is a full luxury machine, so it really does come with all of the bells and whistles. First of all, your no storage bin. Quite big, quite deep. We do have it packed with bags right now, but it has buoys in it, a camera bag, extra clothes, all kinds of stuff. So I love having this huge node storage, and it is quite big. Now, as we roll back, you're gonna see a pair of cup holders, a pair of fixed mirrors here too, and up in front of your handlebars, that is a 7-inch touchscreen up there. Now, yes, I said touchscreen, so you can lean forward and touch it, or you can also use the controls right over here, right by the driver. So nice to have kind of two ways to access that touchscreen. Depends on, what you're doing as to which controls you're going to use. Now, as we roll back, we get to the handlebars. These do tilt, so you can adjust it, based on your height and riding style. And then we also have these guys right here. These are tie-down points, which have been added up nice and high right to your handlebars. And I like that you get one on both sides. Then we can look at this storage. This is your main sort of rider storage. What's nice here is you're actually getting a little rubberized piece on the right-hand side to attach your cell phone. You're also getting a 12-volt power outlet and a USB power outlet. And you can see this is actually spring-loaded, so it lifts up by itself and it stays up. And then you get this watertight seal underneath, which is also nice. Now, because this is the FX Cruiser, we get what's called the cruiser seat. So you can see these nice big indents here. So especially this middle rider, you don't always get sort of a nice spot for them to sit. This machine does have that, and it's quite big. So it is nice to have, a really defined spot for that middle rider. You also have footwell drains here in the Waverunner. Part of that is for when you're out on the lake, but honestly, it's also for when it rains. If this thing's just sitting at the end of your dock or in storage, if your footwell fills up, it will drain out. Now we get all the way around to the back. The first thing I will show you is underneath the seat here. You get this awesome little storage bin right there, comes with you. Pack your lunch in there, take it to the island, whatever you want to do. So I love getting that. And then you get this big swim platform at the back, the great material, plus it's kind of color-coded with the machine, and this huge, wide reboarding step, also covered in that material, and you'll notice it goes all the way across. It's not like that on all Waverunner models. So yeah, like I mentioned, this is a luxury model, and in terms of luxury, all the features are here to make this thing a comfortable, fun ride. Now let's go hit the water and see how it feels. So one of the keys with this 1.9 is the responsiveness. It just jumps up out of the water. And responsive is the best word I can use for this new power plant. Even once we're moving at speed, man, the power is just right there. So yeah, I think that's the first thing you're gonna notice from the old FX Cruiser to the new one with the engine, is that responsive, crisp acceleration. Now I do have drive modes here. Right now I'm just in comfort mode, but yes, those jumps up out of the water, that was all just in comfort. If I went into performance, it's even more aggressive the way this thing absolutely takes off. Now besides that, yeah, once you're cruising at speed, you don't feel any real difference in the power plant. still fairly quiet, nice and smooth engine note. So that responsive acceleration out of the water, that's the difference you're gonna feel. So now let's talk about luxury. Of course, this is a luxury model. It's all about being a comfortable cruiser. And the first thing that really kind of suggests that is this seat. Big, wide, comfortable couch of a seat, honestly. And I know I don't have anyone on the back right now, but if I did, there's so much space here that everyone really does get their own space. So yes, just the rider position and the seat really lend itself to that comfort. And then the other ways in this machine is comfortable is just the features. I have mirrors here so I can always see on my way around. I have cup holders, so if I did have a water there, I could grab it. And that's why this is a luxury machine, because all of those little things that you want when you're out on the water, they are all here. Now I do have the 7-inch touchscreen in front of me. It gives me lots of information while I'm on the move, but actually one thing Yamaha does is they lock it out once you're moving. So right now I'm trying to hit the buttons and I can't actually change anything up there. So if you want to change your settings, you have to come to a stop and then you can go through and do that. I don't love that, but I do understand that for safety, it's probably in everyone's best interest that you're not fiddling with the touchscreen while you're out moving on the water. Let me take you through the functions on this 7-inch touchscreen right now. So this is your home screen. You get your trim over here, shows you exactly where your jet is. Of course, you get your speed, your RPM. Up at the top here, it will tell you which direction you're going. Then your fuel, your time, your gear over there, F for forward. And then over here, it will tell you which mode you're in as well. Now, I told you it is a touchscreen. Oh, the engine's off, so it wants to go accessory, but here we go. So there's your GPS. We don't have any maps downloaded, but yes, you could download a map and then this thing will actually keep track of where you are and where you're going. Here's all our fuel economy information, and you do actually get quite a bit of info out of this machine, which is nice. There's all your different modes: economy, performance, comfort, tow mode, and then custom. And if it's not self-explanatory, custom, you can actually go in and set exactly what you want it to be, how you want it to accelerate, the top speed you want it to be able to hit. Next up, we get the tunes. Yes, this FX Cruiser does have a built-in stereo. You can hook up your phone. It does Bluetooth to it. And what's even more exciting or more usable than just your Bluetooth phone is the fact that this thing also has voice control. So while you're sitting here at the dock, you can ask it to play some music and it will do that for you without the need to touch any of these buttons. Now we get over here into settings, and there's a whole number of settings. The one thing I like is you can actually lock out these Waverunners with the pin, so you actually have to put the pin in before it'll start. Different display settings like brightness. You can change your units, your language, the clock. Machine wellness, which is cool, so that'll keep track of when you need maintenance. Different phones, if you've mapped or set up different phones. Map settings. And your factory reset. So yeah, tons of different settings you can go through. And then I mentioned it, this is your lock here, so you can lock the engine with a pin so that you actually need to have that number to come down and run your Waverunner. And as you've seen, I've been using this as a touchscreen, but you can also use the controls underneath the handlebar to access the entire screen. Now in terms of handling, I'll first of all say that the FX Cruiser hasn't changed in sort of hull design for this year. So the handling feels the exact same, and you can have some fun with it for sure. Still turns nice and sharp, but another thing that sort of defines the models in this luxury segment, they don't have that bite, that aggressive kind of downforce feeling that you get out of a performance PWC. So even though I can throw it into a tight turn, it feels like it pushes through the turn rather than really aggressively kind of bites down into the turn. But again, that's what you want on a luxury machine. You don't want to feel all those G-forces in your body. So when you are going through those corners, it just doesn't feel like you as the rider, you really have to work it through the corner. All you do is sit there and barely hold on because it doesn't have that bite, it doesn't feel like it wants to throw you off the other side. So even in the way it handles, which is to say not super aggressively, it lends itself to that feeling of comfort. Now I mentioned I can tilt the handlebars here, which is nice for standing up, because when I do it like that, it's actually still at a really comfortable height for me. Now again, not a machine you might stand up a lot on, but if you get in the big waves, sometimes it's necessary. And then again, and I'm by myself here, but just look at the size of this thing. I can really spread out, move my weight around where I want it on this machine. So I just like how big it is for the ability to sort of move around and pick your spot. And then, yeah, finally, the other things I should mention, we do have the different drive modes, but we also have a trim here on my left handlebar. So at any point I want to trim the nose down, I can grab that and do it. I want to trim the nose up, I can do that. But the trim is also automatic, and it will act depending on the drive mode. So in performance mode, it's going to try to keep that nose down as much as it can. In comfort mode, it'll try to sit nice and level, a little bit higher. And then another neat thing that I noticed is if you do get in the big waves, the big water, and you actually end up bringing that jet up out of the water, so jumping it a little bit, the trim will automatically go full nose up, because the Waverunner recognizes, hey, you're in rough water, you want to pull that nose out. So I do love the automatic trim here, and yet another luxury setting, because you can just set the drive mode, forget about your trim. Now another big question with this new 1.9 is fuel economy, because Yamaha says it's making more horsepower now, 200, but they also say it's roughly 20% better on fuel. Now lucky for you guys, in the next couple of weeks, we are also going to get a 1.8 liter FX Cruiser, so I can do a direct comparison. For now, let me cut away to the fuel economy test I did yesterday, and I'll talk you through the fuel numbers on this unit right here. Alrighty folks, we have officially hit the 1 hour mark. So let's see what our fuel economy is looking like. Here's our trip information. We can see 1.1 hours. Down there you can see 11:53. I started at 10:52. So it's reading it at 1.1. Trip distance, 52 kilometers. Average, 2.2 kilometers per liter. 2.2 kilometers per liter. The fuel used overall was 23.8 liters. And then the fuel rate changes live based on your speed. Now I will go up and switch all the units over for our US friends. We go back to the trip, and there you go, 1.1 hours, 32.8 miles, 5.2 miles per gallon, 6.3 gallons used in total. Now let's do some math and we can work out the overall range on this new FX Cruiser. All right, folks, time for the top speed run. Now, another thing I like about this FX Cruiser is it actually uses GPS for its speed, because yes, it has GPS built in, so I really do trust the speedometer on this thing. So first of all, we will go over. Whoops, that's music. We will put it in performance mode. All right, performance mode activated. And here we go, everybody. Top speed run in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Really wanted to see 100, but we hit 98 kilometers per hour right there. And yes, keep in mind that's with a 300-pound rider, so for some of you folks out there, that's 2 people or 1 big person. But yeah, 98K. I would have loved to see 100. Still, that's plenty of speed for out here on the water. There's a few things I want to talk about just here at slow speed. The first one is kind of a hallmark of the Yamaha Waverunner, and that is that water jet at the back. You've seen this on Waverunners for many, many, many years. And even I, the first time I saw it, thought that must be functional. There must be a reason. Well, the reason is safety. Yamaha wants to make sure when you're out there on the water flying along that everybody can see you. So yes, that's the only reason that jet is back there. And you know what? It does work. When you see a Waverunner coming across the lake, you can tell it's a Waverunner because it has that, you know, massive rooster tail of water up behind it. And then, hey, I mean, we're all just big kids and these are toys, right? It actually is pretty fun to go out and splash each other with it as well. But that's not why it is there. It is there for our safety. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is stability. This unit, like I mentioned, is massive. It's basically the largest PWC you can buy, or it's in that category. So I like to show off sort of the slow speed stability. This matters when you're docking, when you're climbing on and off this thing at the dock. So I'll show you. And again, I'm a 300-pound guy, but look, I can stand down in one of the footwells and it's not taking on water. It's close, but it's not quite there yet. And that really does prove something. PWCs that are smaller, lighter, yeah, they're harder to get onto at slow speed because it just has a tendency to tip. And then especially once you take on water into your footwell, well, that water adds weight. So a lot of the times, the second you've taken on a bit of water, well, you've just made the whole experience tougher. So if slow speed stability, docking, climbing on and off, if any of those things are a concern, this FX is the model to go for. Something bigger, wider, and heavier just means that, yeah, getting on and off as easy as can be. And now I want to show you how easy it is to get back on from the water, because once again, you know what, small little tiny PWC models, I still struggle to get up on them because they're so lightweight. Not the case here. So let's take the mic off. And I'm going to go for a little swim. Show you guys exactly how the boarding step works at the back. All right, microphone's off, double checking that. And here we go for science. So, I catch up to it. Here's my boarding step, put it down. This thing is quite wide. I'm able to grab a handle, put a knee on it, then a foot, and I'm up. No problem at all. If this was something small and lightweight, that would have been a much more laborious process. But on here, it's easy. So I'll say it one last time. If you want the most steady, stable experience when this thing is not moving, yeah, it's a great unit. Now I should just touch on basic operation of the Waverunner. I love how Yamaha has it laid out. I think it's one of the most obvious machines to ride in the PWC industry because the right lever over here makes you go forward, the left lever makes you go backwards. It really is as simple as that. Now when you're in neutral, you can just pop this and it'll stay in forward. If you pop the left lever, it will just go to neutral. It won't stay in reverse. But then you grab reverse, and there you go. Now what I want to show you right now though isn't that, it is Yamaha's docking mode. It's called TDE forward and TDE reverse. So I'll show you. Right now I'm in neutral. I press up on the trim button and now I am in TDE forward, and you're going to see really nice, slow, steady acceleration. And steady is the key word, because when you are docking a PWC, a lot of the times you have a tendency to pop the throttle a little too hard, pop reverse too hard. But look how nice and slow this is. And now watch. Now I go neutral, TDE reverse to slow me down, bring my stern in close to the dock, neutral, TDE forward. And it really does make the docking experience that much easier, nice and calm. Neutral, TDE reverse to slow me down, and I'm here. So yeah, I really like Yamaha's TDE modes for bringing it into a dock. It's something I think all the other manufacturers should pay attention to because it does make it quite a bit easier. And once you've owned it for a while, you've gotten good at it, yeah, maybe you won't worry. But if it's your first time docking, hey, maybe you're renting one of these things, that mode is absolutely gonna help you. And finally, you are wondering what it costs. Well, here in Canada, this 2024 FX Cruiser HO is going to sell for $24,100, while south of the border in the States, you're talking about $16,999. So yes, $17,000. So sure, I wouldn't call it affordable, but that's the price you pay for all these features. Well, folks, we've come to the end of this one. What else can I say? This FX Cruiser is so luxurious. It has all the features you want for a comfortable, fun, and still pretty thrilling day out on the water. Now, of course, though, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this new engine and the 2024 FX Cruiser? I even really like the color here as well. But now I want to hear from you. So go in the comments. Let me know what you think. While you're down there, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit join to become a member, and then come right back here to TK Power Sports to see what we're testing next. And if you'll excuse me, I got lots more riding to do. See ya!